Hey everybody, this is Lisa Charles, your resident wellness and health coach, personal trainer, and wellness presenter, and I have a business called Embrace Your Fitness. So you can find me at embraceyourfitness.net. I'm coming to you today because I wanted to talk just for a short time about a topic that is really truly so meaningful to me, but I think it's meaningful to me because it really moves and directs so many people's lives. We often live in our thoughts. That means we live in our heads. So we're living in the future, we're living in the past, we regret about the past, or we want to rewrite something or something we wish we could have said or done, or in the future, just having that kind of fearfulness about things that we're experiencing, but things that are yet to be experienced. So we'll make an entire presentation in our head about what's to come. But you know what's amazing about this whole process, and definitely with my business and what my focus on workshops and on presentations, is that I really wanted to get to the root. We know some of the issues that exist. We know that there are moments that we have fear, and that fear can grip us in certain ways and prevent us, stop us in our tracks, and prevent us from being who we want to be or doing what we want to do. But you can know that from this day to Sunday, but if you don't know what to do about it, you don't know how to interpret that or bring that into your environment or bring it into even how you think about thoughts, and which we have thousands and thousands of them every single day, every single minute. If you don't have a strategy, then you're left to fend for yourself. And I always say it's sort of like life starts to live you instead of you living your life. So I want to give you a little bit of power back today. There's so much going on with COVID-19 and then people's own personal issues and family dramas. And so what I want to do is give you some strategies. And so I titled this workshop today is called Taking Fear and Making It Your Friend. And some of you may have, I would put a big question mark symbol right in front of your face. It's like, what is she talking about? Fear is not my friend. But there's really ways and simple ways that you can kind of take that concept of fear and turn it on its ear and change the dimension of how you look at it, how you examine it. So I want to talk about a few different factors that you can do on a daily basis. And did you hear me right? I said on a daily basis, because whether you know it or not, there are different elements of fear that come through. I classify a couple of different types. So there's fears that of the natural. So you know that if you put your hand in fire, you're going to get burned, and maybe having a fear of that is a good thing. Or if you stand in the middle of traffic or you walk in the middle of a highway, you might get hit by a car. So knowing that there are certain things of self-preservation and protection, you're not going to jump in a lion's cage, for instance, that's a good thing. And so those kind of fears we're happy about because it keeps us basically safe in the ways that we have control over in our environment. But that's not kind of the fear that I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the kind of fear that can come at any moment, maybe through a transition such as this, like, oh my goodness, I have this opportunity to do something different with my business, or maybe I have to apply for a new job and I'm afraid to get out there and I'm afraid to tell people that I need an application for something or a transition for something, or I need help for something. It's that kind of fear that grips you, that sometimes prevents you from doing something that would be amazing for you in your life. And so you have to think to yourself, am I going to let that fear stand in my way of my greatness? Am I going to let that fear stand as almost as a barrier between me and where I need to be and where I should be and where I deserve to be, right? I mean, you can take it to that level. That being said, okay, that sounds great, Lisa. What do you mean by that? What can you do? What can I do? What do you do? For that, I want to tell you a little bit of my story, right? So now it's gonna be, 20 plus years ago. I was a practicing attorney. I was a federal prosecutor. I had a whole life's trajectory. I was moving in a time and space, and everything was moving as I thought it should, except for there was something that was missing. And I was always seeking the missing piece. And I had a blessed moment where I was at a mingling event where we were just to say our titles of the jobs we did, and everyone was saying their titles, and I realized that I didn't know about anything that anyone was saying other than their title and their name, and neither did they know about me. So I started asking questions of myself. Who am I? What do I really want? What is there out there for me? So if you imagine, when I came to the conclusion that as a practicing lawyer, maybe I want to be a singer and an actress, for some that would be a fear moment. But for me, I took it as an opportunity for immediate change. I left my job and I pursued a singing career, and I pursued it with everything I had, maybe too much because I had a vocal injury. And I had to really redefine myself. So there were really a lot of moments where I had to make choices and decisions and faced barriers of fear. So I always say, how did I make it from that barrier into developing a really wonderful health and wellness consultancy and really have some of the amazing opportunities I've had coming from such a varied background. And a lot of it was strategy. Some that I just naturally did, started writing about, and then some that once I saw what I was doing, I started practicing and really putting into practice, so to make sure that I was never stuck again. I was never in that venture point where I said, wow, on the other side of this barrier is opportunity. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'll be successful. I don't know if I'll get the job, I'll get the opportunity, but I'm gonna step in it. I'm gonna step in it. You heard me right. Sometimes we step in things. It doesn't have to be a bad thing, but we step in it and then we see. We prepare, we do things to prepare ourselves for it, but sometimes you just have to go. So how do I get you in your own journey, your story, to that point of go? And how do I get you to do it on a daily basis? Well, one, the first things first. My mom always used to say, first things first. You have to acknowledge you have a fear. You have to acknowledge what the fear is. You have to literally accept the fact that there is fear, and that fear is motivating or demotivating you through different parts of your life. So what does acknowledging mean? Well, it just means that you recognize you actually can speak it, you can write it, you can share it with what I call a partner in life, so it could be literally husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, but it also just life partners can be people that really are sharing in the life journey. Your life partner might just be your journal, but it's your ability to put it into words, right? Once you put it into words, it's like, it's a recognition. Oh my God, I really do have a fear. And this fear is preventing something. So once you acknowledge the fear, then you can start really focusing on what it is. I mean, in the dimension of all fears, there's a lot of things before it. So when I first went into leaving the law, and then I had to get an agent because I wanted to do acting as well. And there was a fear about the fact that although I did acting in college, I didn't have a degree in dramatic arts, so if I'm going in and I'm talking to an agent, I don't have a whole lot of experience either, but what do I say? Is there a fear of just even knocking on the door, making the phone call, or going for an audition? I had to develop a whole process once I understood what the fear was based on. That fear was based on a lack of true belief in me, on my talent, on my history, my skill set in there. So there were things I did to beef up my skill set. There were things I did to help me to gain more confidence, like singing class or acting class or acting partners, or just doing it and then going to auditions. So I was able to really focus on what that fear was, and then look at the components that was going to help put me in a better position to meet that challenge, right? So when I say fear is your friend, just going back to that, so we acknowledge, we focus, fear is your friend. Well, your friend, they're good days and bad days, or good things and bad things about your friend. But one of the things that you know is your friend, you can count on your friend, if it's a true friend, to move you to a better level in your life. So your fear often, on the other side of it, can move you forward, can propel you forward in ways you could not even contemplate. So acknowledging it and focusing on it and really analyzing and going through the details of it and finding that, yes, okay, I may have some negative viewpoints of, getting my name out there. I've been in this career set for a while and now I'm trying to switch it, and people might reject me. People might say not nice things about me. I might not get the opportunity. I might, have family and friends and supporters not being as supportive as they used to be because I'm stepping in this different direction. There are a lot of things out there that could happen. But I'm going to ask you for this exercise to focus on the positive, because you can always find a whole lot of negative. If you've met people, and I've known people in my life that I say, there's an expression called a negative Nancy. I don't know where that came from. Half the expressions my mom used, I don't even know the origins. But the negative Nancy to me is that person that can find the negative in anything you present. And I don't care what it is. I won the sweepstakes. Okay, someone's going to come after you for your money. I just got a house. Well, you might not be able to afford your mortgage. It's that kind of personality. Unfortunately, and this is the real secret, I'm gonna come in a little closer just to tell you it. I should whisper. But everyone has a negative Nancy that lives inside of them. Okay, you heard me. I'm gonna say it, not a secret. Everyone has a negative Nancy, a negative Peter, if you will, if you want to just give it a different name. But they live inside and they say things to you that would keep you from doing anything. They feed the fear in a negative way. And what I want to do is take this that we've acknowledged, that we focused on, and I want to feed it in a positive way. And the way that I can do that is looking at what this fear is, why did it come about, so now we have a little knowledge about it, and what are the good things that could happen as a result of this fear? Like, what's positive that would happen? I think in my own life, when I had a chance to audition for singing at a concert that ultimately was at Carnegie Hall. Yeah, right. This is amazing to me because, all right, so it's my second career and I'm having this opportunity, but trust when I tell you there was a lot of internal, for me, it is negative Nancy, talking away, telling me how I don't have the experience of the other people that are auditioning with me. It's not even just doing it. Maybe what if they say this? It's going to make me feel that way. It's going to dissuade me. I could have stayed in that, but I knew that I was going to feed the positive. Feeding the positive means instead of focusing on all of the negative, you're going to feed all the things that could happen. I could get it. I could have an opportunity to sing. I could have an opportunity to sing on such a stage. I could have exposure in ways I wouldn't normally have. It could propel my career in a certain way. I could focus in on all of the things that would be amazing. Those are the feeding the positivity. And then you write them down. And then I used to have a positivity notebook, right? And so it would have all of the positivity of whatever that fear was, along with, as I mastered it, as I did an audition, and someone said something nice, or I had a really supportive thing said by a friend or a family member, and it was just really stunningly great, I wrote it in my positivity book. And when the fear crept along, I open my book and look at all the positive things that would happen so I could really focus in on that which would propel me forward. So we acknowledge, we focus, we feed, and then we have a chance to feel. So when you get fearful, you feel things. Come on. I always ask when I do like a workshop, I was like, what do you feel when you get fearful? And people will say things like, I tremble, my throat closes, my leg shakes, I start sweating, my tongue won't work, it feels like my mouth is dry. I mean, you fill in the blanks. Everyone has their thing. And we always classify that, once again, as negative. But when we are so engaged, when we're so focused, when we're really super excited, when we're trying something different and something new, and those, little doubts are in there, these feelings, these things that happen to your body are the body's way of saying, I'm really excited to step into something new. And instead of fighting it all the way, I'm not nervous, my leg won't shake, I'll just fight through it, I'll pretend it's not there, I'm a master of my fate, captain of my soul. Those are wonderful expressions. But I always say, you're just gonna ride the wave. Ride the waves of those incredible feelings for what they are. They are just your body's preparation for your opportunity. And it's amazing when you start to transform how you think about what's happening to you. You don't fight it, but you allow it to wave, and it's almost like a wave, like an ocean wave that rolls over you, but afterwards you just feel the beautiful coolness of the water and the warmth of the sun, and you feel the gentle breeze and all of those things. You start to change the imagery, and it's what will compel you forward. I don't like when you have an individual that has no feeling. They don't go through anything. They're just almost like a robot. They're not engaged. Those other things that I mentioned say that you're human, say that you're here. You just have to acknowledge it, ride with it, and then reinterpret it as a way of preparing you. It's harnessing all that excitement to take you to the next level. Now, those are all beautiful concepts, but I have to tell you this. If you do not practice them, if you do not really put them into your daily routine, if you do not really step out on one of them, you say, okay, wow, Lisa said, and I'm going to acknowledge, all right, I'm going to focus, I'm going to feed, and I'm going to ride the wave, and I'm going to accept, and I'm going to see how that goes. If you don't actually do those steps, then it's just in theory. So I'm going to invite you from this really wonderful opportunity in speaking with you all to actually do it, to put it into practice, and then to let me know, tap back in and say, yeah, Lisa, this was great. I was able to do it. Or, man, Lisa, give it to me one more time. I just need another pep talk through it. Or can I ask you when I'm riding the wave, what other things came about for me, and can I apply another technique? This is the beginning, I hope, of our dialogue, because this kind of mastery of those emotions that really propel you to kind of look at the fear in a different way. At the end of the day, I want you to look at the fear as an opportunity. I want you to look at the fear as an amazing, what is it? Well, it's opportunity, but it is that, there's something else. It's like a burst of sunlight that really lights up what was a dark way. And it lights it in a way you never thought possible, because you're in an alley, you're in a street, you're in a piece of your life that you never lived before. It's gonna ignite within you creativity. It's gonna strengthen your belief to know just how worthy you are of mastery of this. And you're just gonna look at things in a different way. And in this world where we live so far in the future or so far in the past, you're gonna have this particular skill that's gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna bring it back to the present so I have a greater understanding of where I am, so that I'm ready for whatever the future has for me. So I hope that this just starts you on the process. That's it. Just starts you on the process. And I am so excited to stay with you all the way. I hope you'll see me on Facebook under Embrace Your Fitness, or join my special Facebook, Embrace Your Excellence. Embrace Lisa Embrace Fitness on Instagram. And definitely check me out at embraceyourfitness.net. I want to stay in contact with you, and I want to know how you progress so that we can all march arm in arm through this COVID-19 into new opportunity, new life. We'll breathe it together. Thanks.